Hello and welcome in. Welcome to the live stream, ladies and gentlemen. A little bright. I look a little bright. I had some changes. Hopefully, the construction next door isn't too much of a distraction. As you can see, I'm wearing headphones because they're drilling away over there. But yeah, just let me know if you guys can hear me all right. Let me know if everything sounds decent, and we'll go from there. So yeah, we just had the FOMC meeting. And so that's, the market always kind of dries up. Liquidity dries up whenever there's a big financial event in the market. A lot of people want to see what the results are for any of these major economic announcements. The announcement was just, nothing really changed. We're in the range of 4.5% on interest rates. So nothing's really changed there. And yeah, we're experiencing continuation now. Now that that's out of the way, we don't need to worry about it again till March. The market is ready to move forwards, and that's exactly what we're doing. So let's dive into the charts. But before that, little disclaimer.
But before we get into the TA, just a quick reminder, this content is for educational and entertainment purposes only. I am not a financial advisor, and trading or investing in cryptocurrency comes with risks. Always do your own research and consult with a professional if needed. Any use of trading bots or strategies should be tested and fully understood before implementation. Stay smart, stay safe, and trade responsibly. Let's get into the charts.
All right, so we're going to start things off here on the technical side, taking a look at Bitcoin on the daily chart. We are now interpreting this as a bullish accumulation. There was a brief moment in time where the wave that we'll talk about, the alphanumerics bullish and bearish wave, it went red for a bit. It's flipped back to green. So we're back to looking at things from a bullish lens. And we got a sign of strength. We had an brand new all-time high at a high of $109,354 here on the index chart. Came back down to retest the creek line. This is just a downward sloping line of resistance. The creek line has something to do with a Wyckoff. We're not going to get too into the weeds on Wyckoff, but it's a downward sloping line of resistance that's a very important level to hold should we continue to higher levels. Came down and tested it. The bulls showed up big time. We got a nice little doji after that and a bullish engulfing candle after that. So things are looking good. We can take a look at the volume signatures. Nothing really too noteworthy here on the daily volume. Once we zoom into the 4-hour, it might be a little bit more noteworthy, but this bullish engulfing is just setting the stage for another bullish candle on today's close. We just opened this candle about 3 hours ago, and it's probably going to close green. So is this the beginning of the breakout? We will have to wait and see. If we turn on alphanumerics, we can see that we have reclaimed the 7 level. This is a very important moving average for trend continuation. As long as we can stay on top of the 7, you usually experience a little bit of a rally as long as we can stay on top of that 7. So you can see we reclaim the 7, go on a rally, reclaim the 7, go on a rally, reclaim the 7, go on a rally. So this time is probably no different. We're probably going to continue up to higher levels. We're looking at this from a bullish point of view. And the most bullish thing that I can be looking at is Twitter. Everybody is bearish. Everybody is losing hope. Everybody is concerned that the bull market is over. And that is always a very good sign that the bull market is actually ready to continue. Believe me, when the bull market is over, the herd will be saying that continuation is possible all the way to the bottom. The fact that we're at all-time highs and they're calling for bearish targets, they're calling for the market to be over, is indicator enough for me to say that they are wrong. We're ready for continuation to the upside. So let's take a look here on the 4-hour. We just got a bullish cross here, the 7 crossing above the 30 on the alphanumerics indicator. So these are typically good signs. I mean, they don't always work out, but sometimes you get a nice cross and it results in A 14 to 15% rally was the last one. The noteworthy thing here is the green diamond. So this is indicating a really oversold condition. This is usually where the negative sentiment comes into the market. So you can see that we had a bullish and bearish cross back here, but there was no green diamond. The last time we had a green diamond, and pretty much every time we've had a green diamond and there's been a bullish cross, you got at least some of a rally. This one didn't end up being too great, but you got a green diamond here. Where's another example of a good one? Probably back here before the extension. Yeah, we got a green diamond and then a bullish cross into a pretty large rally. Now, we're not calling that just yet, but it's always a good sign when you get the fear coming into the market, the negative sentiment coming into the market, and then continuation signs to the upside. So I'm bullish. I've been bullish this whole time. If you haven't been in the group, I encourage you to come and hang out in the group. If you're ever unsure as to the market direction, you can always ask questions. So get into the free Discord. It is 100% free to use for our users. All you got to do is become a user. So if you aren't already set up on blackbox.pro, go ahead and get set up on blackbox.pro. Where is blackbox.pro? Right here. Go to blkbox.pro. Sign up for free, email, password, boom, you're in. You get full access to the Discord. So yeah, go ahead and do that. Yeah, so we are long. Taking a look here on BitGet. We're long from $103,000, $50,000 long here on the position. For $500 in profit thus far. And continuation is what we are seeing. So yeah, it's looking good. It's looking good. Blue.BTC, any comments, concerns about the liquidity below, which has just formed following today's pump? Let's see what you're talking about. Let's go over to live stream chat. I don't see about the liquidity below that you were talking about. You're going to have to share a chart there, Marco. Yeah, so 4 hours looking good. We're crossing bullish on the 4 hour. We've reclaimed the 7 on the daily. Things are all looking good there. Let's go to a little bit more of the fundamentals. Like I said, we just had the CME. Let's go to the historical. Ooh, they make it hard to read on purpose. I'm telling you, they make it hard to read on purpose. Stacked area chart. Jesus, how are you supposed to read that? All right, we're going to go to something a little easier to read. I don't know if this trading view has updated just yet. No, it hasn't updated yet, but we haven't had a noteworthy move. We're still at about 4.5%. It's probably going to decline. As far as the aggregated probabilities, it's expected to decline. So this coming FOMC meeting in March, it's undecided, but there are people thinking that there will be a rate cut. But as you can see, the probabilities are counting on rate cuts throughout the next year. So we're looking good there. No rate increases. This is basically quantitative easing, in my opinion. Not a lot of people agree with me but that's the way I'm looking at it. Liquidity, global M2 money supply, year-over-year growth is low. It's not as high as it was back here in September, but as long as we don't flip below to a contraction, we're still good. So this would kind of explain the lull in performance. But yeah, the money printing is coming. We just got into a new presidency. There's going to be some funny things that are happening as a result of some of the extreme things that President Trump is wanting to do. But yeah, it's the liquidity cycle is not complete just yet. The liquidity cycle is just getting going. Heat map, liquidation heat map. Yeah, I don't personally follow these two closely. Reason being is just because, it works off of order books. Order books are very, very easily spoofed. If the market wants to spoof an order book, you just get a whale to place orders below. There's no orders above us. There's not much selling pressure above us, so we're kind of free and clear. But if we do come back down to the level here, if we come back down to this level right here, there's a ton of buyers. Just because there's liquidity there doesn't mean we're heading there. It just means that in the event that we get there, there's a ton of buyers. There's a ton of volume activity over at those levels. But yeah, let's actually turn on the VPVR, volume profile visible range. Haven't looked at that one in a while. Point of control for this consolidation, we bounced right off the point of control, and there's just dwindling liquidity. There's really nothing holding us back at this point. As long as there's no significant volume signatures as we continue to tick to the upside, it's looking good. And there is a breakout point here, or no, that's alphanumerics. Is that? Yeah, that's alphanumerics. That's not our breakout point. But yeah, look at how much the liquidity dries off. The trading volume at these levels is very, very low. So it's easy to move the price. If we continue to tick to the upside while the market is bearish, that is absolutely perfect. That's exactly what you want to see. Hopefully we continue to trend in that direction. All right. Another thing that I wanted to talk about is the whales. Whales are buying. This is Glassnode for those who are unaware. Glassnode will measure. There's a lot of different things that you can look at Glassnode, but one of the things that I like to pay attention to is the accumulation of different wallet sizes. And we're seeing the picture perfect transfer of wealth yet again. The paper-handed little bitches in the market who are tweeting up a storm saying that the market is over are selling their positions. And who are they selling it to? They are selling it to the whales. So here's balances with less than 0.1. You can see the decline. We are declining. So any Bitcoin balance with less than 10 million sats has been in a decline. People are selling. Balances with 1 BTC or more also in a decline. These are still, these are plebs. These are not significant players in the space. These are not the movers and shakers. Since this rally, it's been in a decline. Then we get to balances with over 10 Bitcoin, flattening out. Nothing noteworthy, 10 Bitcoin. But now we get into the real whales. We get into the hedge funds, the sovereign wealth funds, the fucking nation states, and boom, huge, massive accumulation happening on the whale side of things. So all the plebs that are selling, all the noobs that are selling, everybody who thinks that this market cycle is over, you are selling your Bitcoin to the whales. The whales are more than happy to scoop it up, and they are scooping it up in large quantities, going to 1,000 BTC, flattening out again. I think that's just a characteristic of the UTXO set of Bitcoin. More and more people are learning about UTXOs. There's really no reason to hold 1,000 Bitcoin in a singular UTXO. So, if you are a whale, you're probably breaking up your UTXOs into hundreds of Bitcoin, not thousands of Bitcoin. So it's looking really good there. All right, now let's get into Bitcoin dominance. So it's kind of funny. I saw a really funny meme on Twitter the other day, and it was like somebody talking to another person. They're like, Bitcoin, nation states are buying Bitcoin. And the guy's like, oh, wow, cool. Which coin should I buy? And that's like such a perfect sentiment to the market. It's like countries are buying Bitcoin. Sovereign wealth funds are buying Bitcoin. ETFs are buying Bitcoin. Hedge funds are buying Bitcoin. Retirement funds are buying Bitcoin. Everybody's buying Bitcoin. And what is the retail response for that? Wow, that's really exciting. What altcoin should I buy? Nobody's buying fucking altcoins. And we can see that when we take a look at Bitcoin dominance continuing to climb to higher levels. Let's actually keep this as a Bitcoin chart. Let's bring that over here. Go to the weekly. Bitcoin dominance continues to climb. You will not get altcoin season. Repeat after me. We will not get altcoin season. While this chart is in an uptrend, it is an impossibility for this chart to be in an uptrend and it be altcoin season. So don't get trigger happy. Don't get a little too excited and don't front run anything unless you're seeing a breakout on the Bitcoin pair. I wouldn't touch it. And most people don't look at the Bitcoin pair. I can pretty much guarantee that 99% of people, when they're charting, they are looking at the price in US dollars. They are not looking at the price in sats. So it is not altcoin season yet. Are we coming in for the first higher low? Potentially. And that would be the first indicator of an altcoin season potential coming. But as it stands right now, we have a high, we have a low, we have a potential lower high, but this could easily continue to rally, especially if Bitcoin has a breakout. It'll continue to rally and go up to 60, 61, 62% before getting a reversal, at which point we will be able to raise the level of what we believe to be altcoin season. But as it stands right now, until you get a downtrend that breaches this level of 55% Bitcoin dominance, it ain't altcoin season. It is Bitcoin season. It's been Bitcoin season since September of 2022. If you have been holding a portfolio that is heavily allocated to Bitcoin since September of 2022, you have, statistically speaking, outperformed every single altcoin trader, every single meme coin flipper, every single JPEG sweeper. You have outperformed them all, statistically speaking. So be patient. Altcoin season is very short. It's a few months. Bitcoin trades for years to the positive side, and it takes years of positive Bitcoin appreciation to trigger that altcoin season. So we haven't seen it just yet. Got a comment in here to take a look at Bitcoin dominance, my favorite chart to dunk and shit on. Sorry, not Bitcoin dominance, the ETH BTC pair. Let's take a look at ETH BTC. Oh, God, it feels good. God, it feels good to be right. It's good to be the king. It's good to be the king. Guys, there were moments where I thought we weren't going to get to 3 million sats per ETH, but here we are, sitting on my support level. This support level has been drawn on this chart. You can go back to any one of my live streams for the last 3 years. I've had this support line drawn at 3 million sats. Everybody was angry at me up here at 6 million sats. Everybody called me an idiot here when it rallied back up to 6 million sats. They called me an idiot here at 5 million sats. Boom, 3 million sats per ETH per Bitcoin with Bitcoin on the Bitcoin pair. And it's not over. Like, we can still break through this. But what is more likely is that we do find some sort of support, lay flat here, and then finally break above this downward sloping line of resistance. As soon as we can break above this downward sloping line of resistance, that is the point at which you allocate into ETH. No sooner than that. No sooner than that. You buy when you break this downtrend in Bitcoin. Until then, ETH is a complete and utter fucking failure. Just for those who are paying attention, by the way, this area back here was when ETH went from proof of work to proof of mistake. And since they've been on the proof of mistake protocol, they've seen exactly what a lot of us Bitcoin maxis said would happen, a complete devaluation of the currency. So here we are. There you go. You asked for it. There it is. Piece of shit chart for a piece of shit coin. Good to see Baloo Bitcoin season in full swing. Hell yeah. Samoon. I'm mostly in BTC, and the second highest position is ETH. Been a tough couple of years. I don't blame you for, thinking that, but at least you had Bitcoin to kind of balance out the books a bit. Glad I sold all my remaining mined ETH the day of the merge. No mining, no value. Well done, sir. Well done. I mean, you pretty much nailed the top if that's the fundamental path that you chose. Just catching up with the chat here. Where do you think we top with BTC this cycle? Good question, but I'll be one of those rare YouTubers that also says that it's kind of a stupid question. Not to say that you're stupid for asking it. It's stupid in the sense that nobody in my position has the ability to actually answer that question. So maybe stupid question. I retract that statement. It's not a stupid question. It's a very difficult question for anybody to answer. So here's my chart. Here's my chart answering it. We will end the bull market at any point between, I believe, the end of March and the end of December of this year. So it's going to end in 2025, and it's going to end at a price of a range between the current price and $2.3 million. So that's what I mean when I think it's an impossible question to answer, because nobody has a crystal ball. We can't predict the future. We can't tell you what the next candle is going to be. We can only identify when it is appropriate for you to be long and when it is appropriate for you to be short. When is it appropriate for you to be a Bitcoin bull, and when is it appropriate for you to be a Bitcoin bear? Price targets are pretty useless. I've said on the channel for a long time, I've been calling $1.2 million Bitcoin. When I first mentioned these targets, it actually did me a disservice because it discredited me, and a lot of people unsubscribed and called me a fool and said that I was crazy. Now we're seeing a lot of creators beginning to talk about $1 million Bitcoin. I still think that $1 million Bitcoin is possible, but it does rely on a certain key fundamentals to take place. I think that the supply has never been lower in the context of a bull market. We just need to increase the demand in the spot markets. Last cycle, this green line right here represents the last cycle. Now, the last cycle was extremely driven by the derivatives and futures, and it was still very much so a retail driven market. And therefore, there was a lot of paper Bitcoin going around. There was a shit ton of paper Bitcoin. When FTX went down, there was zero Bitcoin. Everybody was holding a ton of Bitcoin on FTX, but FTX was actually custodying zero Bitcoin. So what does that mean? Paper Bitcoin. What's unique about the ETFs is they're a regulated product that is directly correlated to the spot market of Bitcoin. So I think the supply is very, very low. It's never been lower. In fact, I've got this up. Why don't I just take a look at supply on exchanges? Exchanges, exchange balances, exchange balance totals. We can see that the amount of Bitcoin available to buy has never been this low. It's never been in a downtrend while Bitcoin has been uptrending. Every time Bitcoin's been in a bull market, the expansion of the supply has been increasing. The available supply on exchanges has been increasing. You can see even back here, increasing. There was a little bit of a lull here, but it kicked back up to an uptrend once we got to here. So, there's really, really not a lot of Bitcoin. We have the same amount of Bitcoin in circulation today as we did back in 2018. But in 2018, Bitcoin was less than $10,000. Now we're at over $100,000. So, long story short, the supply side of the trade is taken care of. We don't need to worry about the supply side of the trade. The next thing we need to focus on is the demand side of the trade. I am still in the camp that there is going to be a lot of spot demand for Bitcoin, not only from the ETFs, but also from that dirty little word these days, runes, ordinals, BRC20s, all of the fundamentally on-chain products that are not derivatives, that don't have futures contracts. All of that stuff is effectively burning the supply of Bitcoin. So if you get one really strong bull market in ordinals and runes, and the herd is paying attention and the herd is becoming a participant in that market, that is how you get to $1 million Bitcoin. So, but this could also be the top. The point I'm trying to make, that the easiest way to kind of communicate what I'm trying to communicate is we are bullish. When we are bullish, we maintain exposure. The moment at which we become bearish, Bitcoin will have a price. At that price, we will be, rearranging the portfolio. We will be selling Bitcoin. We will be selling altcoins. We will be limiting exposure to the market. And I can't tell you what the prices are going to be once that event takes place. Profit or prophecy. I'm 34. I held a ton of BTC when I was 18. Never held it. I'm waiting for the right time, and I'm jumping in. Any track network updates? Profit or prophecy. I'm 34, and I held a ton of BTC when I was 18. Never held it. I'm waiting for the right time and jumping in. Well, curious what you think the right time is. John Knox, any track update? Yeah, we can take a look at track. Downtrend. There was a little bit of excitement with the throughput of the TAP protocol. And, it was cool. It was cool. I still think that track is the chain link of this cycle. But all of that bullishness went away, right? We got a little bullish blip, but we're still in a downtrend. We haven't broken the downtrend. So until we break the downtrend, what is the assumption? Lower levels. So we think that, as long as we're below this level here, the assumption is we're going to remain below. If we're going to remain below and we get, knocked up against it, we can continue to lose value. We can continue to lose value in track. What we need to see for that to change is we need to get above it, hold it as support, and begin to trend beyond that point. So if we can do that, then that'll be the beginning of a really significant trend. It will also fall on some fundamental news because it seems as though track moves on fundamental moves. So if we can develop a narrative, if we can get the DEX liquidity and we can get the ordinal space kicking off again and the rune space kicking off again, maybe runes migrate over to the TAP protocol. There's a lot of things that could happen that could drive that narrative. But as it stands right now, we are below that line. We are bearish on track. The price is going to stay the same at best. In your last live, you outlined that Wyckoff accumulation on BTC and a potential bearish trend. We're out of danger now. That was not my last one. That was the one prior to that. So because of the bias flip, right? So the bias is everything for me. When this wave is green, I look at everything from a bullish point of view. And when this wave turns red, I look at everything from a bearish point of view. So I did a live stream when this wave was red. All the labels changed on the Wyckoff chart, and we were looking at this as a Wyckoff distribution, which is a negative pattern that will fall to the downside. Now that our bias is back to bullish, we're looking at it as a Wyckoff accumulation. Wyckoff is a weird one. Honestly, I've been a Wyckoff trader for years. I've dedicated thousands of hours to learning Wyckoff. And what I can say is other strategies that you can learn can be just as effective and they're much easier to learn. They don't require thousands of hours to learn. So I highly recommend alphanumerics. Honestly, the parallels that we draw with the Wyckoff method and alphanumerics are scarily similar, whereas the Wyckoff method takes you literally years to learn because there's a psychological effect with the Wyckoff method where you can place labels where you want to place them and you can see what you want to see. With alphanumerics, you can't see what you want to see. It's just facts. Here's a buy signal. Here's a sell signal. Here's what we're doing. Here's the allocation. I highly recommend that you get alphanumerics. And if you want, we also have Black Box coming back as a spot offer that basically trades the alphanumeric system. So get into the free Discord, get hooked up on the free bots. Those are going to be trading basically this strategy. Not to mention the fact that we just talk about it all the time. So like anytime we think that like you're never going to miss a bull market in our group, and you are never going to be stuck in a bear market in our group. If you follow our macro trading strategies and you allocate according to those strategies, and I want to say allocation is very important. Never go 100% in, never go 100% out. But if you follow the strategies as we follow them inside of the group, all of the information that we provide to you for free, you will never be holding coins in a bear market, and you will never miss a bull market. And I can honestly say that because of just the way that the strategy works. It's an impossibility for us to not hold a bullish bias when the cards align, when the stars align rather. And it's impossible for us to go into the depths of the bear because our strategy uses moving averages, lucid stars, and other things that are just so concrete and factual that they remove a lot of the bias. So definitely get into the group if you guys aren't already in there. All right, let's just catch up with the chat. I'm falling behind with all my auto pings. I think this cycle will break the diminishing returns theory, but that's just my opinion. Gary, I 100% agree with you. I think Bitcoin has a habit of destroying narratives. You know, whatever the narrative is, Bitcoin will destroy that narrative. There's a narrative out there of Bitcoin diminishing returns. Bitcoin will say, go fuck yourself. There's no such thing as diminishing returns. We're going to head to higher levels. This trade's turning out. Let's see how we're doing. Booyah. $50,000 long here on BitGet. Refresh. Doesn't like all the streaming software hooked up to it. All right, it's not refreshing. Let's try it again. About $700 in profit. We already took two profit. We had two take profits, one at 5%, one at 10%. Its current ROI is 15%. Looking good. MRI has been doing much better than Bangbox. Guys, if you missed the announcement on Bangbox, here's the thing. It's just the small time frame stuff is too hard for us to endorse. It's too volatile of a strategy. When it works incredibly. When it doesn't work incredibly. So because a lot of our target market is newer traders, because a lot of our target market is inexperienced people or just people that want like a passive algorithm, we've made the executive decision that we're no longer going to support and advocate for low time frame, high leverage strategies. We're switching gears, going to high time frame, low leverage strategies that are going to be a lot better for you to be able to handle your emotions, because emotions are a money killer. That is the number one thing. This was a failure on our end to not identify that, you know, we're kind of promoting leveraged emotions, and we can't stand behind that. We can't stand behind leveraged emotions. So we're taking the strategy, which works, by the way, we're taking that strategy, moving it over to the 4 hour, adding a retest feature. And we think you guys are going to be a lot more happy with that. Not only because it's going to, make you more gains, but the emotional element of it is just going to be so much easier for you to handle. So yeah, check out that stuff. Get into the Discord. Can you take a look at MSTR? Stock bros out there. Seems to be in a holding pattern right now. So it's waiting for Bitcoin to make a move. Once Bitcoin makes the move, it'll break out here. But as it stands right now, it's in a holding pattern. So we can actually probably draw a parallel channel on this thing now. Let's go with something like this. Yeah, something like that. little bit of an overthrow on the downside, a little bit of an overthrow on the upside. Basically what you need to see is you need to see a breakout. So, you know, for the bold out there, you're at the bottom of the channel. That's a good buy for those who want to take the risk and have the ability to calculate that risk. But if you want to pay for confirmation, you would just buy a breakout of the channel, and the buy would be after a sign of strength, consolidation, and then a break of the prior sign of strength. Or buy right now, because Bitcoin's bullish. Bank of Canada just cut rates and ended quantitative tightening. Do you think the US might follow suit in March on the next FOMC? Not sure. Not sure. We will see. Even though Trump cannot control the Fed, he's putting pressure on Powell to lower the rates and let the money flow. Yeah. I agree with that. But yeah, he doesn't control the Fed. You mentioned once you owned over 40 altcoins in one altcoin cycle, which you said was not smart having so many coins. Could I ask what happened? Did you profit at all? Yeah, I mean, it was an altcoin season, so it was pretty easy to make profits. But the thing is you have so many positions to manage. And then there's the accounting side of things too. So like, you know, what's your dollar? What's your average price? What's your, you know, your average buy and then your average sell for 40 different coins in a market that moves entirely together? You just don't want 40 altcoins. Trust me. There's 4 million altcoins. You're not going to buy them all. The whole market moves together. It all moves together. When Bitcoin goes up, altcoins go up. When altcoins go up, all altcoins go up. So there's just no need. There's no need to have so many different coins. You know, look at them in size of market cap. I don't care what they are. I don't care what they do. I don't care what sector they represent. Just look at them in size, you know, buy a large cap, a medium cap, and a small cap. So you got Bitcoin, large cap, medium cap, small cap. You have 4 positions, 5 positions, you know, add 1 for good luck. And that's it. That's it. There's absolutely no point in having 40 different altcoins. If you have 40 different altcoins, Godspeed, my friend. But that's a lot of shit to manage, and there's really no reason. That's it. That's the only thing. Like it's a lot to manage for no reason. So why do it? Aerodome. Oh, we got a signal on something. Something's ringing in my ear. What did we get a signal on? Something gave me an alert. What just fired? Bull box. The new bull box just fired. Bang box just fired. All right. Good luck. Good luck to anybody who's still on that one. We are still using Bangbox, by the way, if anybody was wondering. But V2 is just around the corner. V2 is already in beta. One signal in beta on V2. We're very, like, it's all we're doing is moving time frames. So we know the bot works. It's functioning every day. But every time we've released something without a beta, something pops up. So for safety's sake, we're running it on a beta for one signal. As soon as it's done, one signal, we move it into production. So V2 is very, very close. Aerodome. Yeah. Oops. Realistically, it's very likely that we come back down to this level. This is definitely in the realm of possibility. So we can take another 50% haircut here. I'm not saying it will. I'm just saying don't be surprised and have a plan as to how you want to handle it if you're an Aerodome investor. But that's definitely a possibility. The other area is we're currently sitting on support. So here is the area of the breakout, the areas of the retest and other breakouts. So we're kind of at a support level right now. So if this support level holds, this is going to be a great buy. I would kind of look for a rounded bottom formation. You can see that we kind of developed this rounded bottom over here. I'd be looking for something similar. So just let it find its footing. New entries, no new entries right here. It's in a downtrend. It hasn't shown the ability to rally. It hasn't broken out of any of its highs. So as far as new buys, no new buys. You're in it at this point. Even if it drops another 50%, you're in it. There's no point in selling either. But what you want to see is you want to see it get it above $1.35. If it can get above $1.35, that'll be kind of the first little signal that it's ready and kind of found some sort of footing. Once it breaks above that, it'll continue the trend. Likely the market will be doing quite well at that point, and Aerodome Finance will continue to rise. But yeah, this is a big VC play, big insiders play. So, you got a lot of venture capitalists who got into this one and they're selling, they're dumping on retail. That's the beautiful thing about crypto is it's extremely liquid right upon launch. A lot of VC investors have to wait years and years to get their exit. But if you decide to spin up a liquidity pool and fuck retail because you don't care about retail, you can get your exit quite easily. These tokens often launch at 100x, which is what a lot of VC investors look for a successful play. So they're getting a lot of successful plays right at launch, dumping on retail, dumping on the liquidity pool. Don't become exit liquidity. What would be the next level to hold? 105, 106? You mean the next level to break? I mean, the level to break is the all-time high. We need to get above 109. Once we get above 109, we'll see you at 125. Oh, I'm getting ahead of myself. Do you believe we'll have an altcoin season like before in 2021 to the same extent? Will you, by diversifying into alts? The only alt I'm waiting for, so two-part question with a two-part answer. The only alt I'm waiting for right now is Solana. When Solana breaks out of this consolidation, I'll be buying Solana. That's pretty much the only alt. That's the only alt I'm waiting for. So when Solana breaks out of this consolidation, I'll be buying Solana. And then I've got a ton of runes exposure. I've got a ton of BRC20 exposure. I've got a ton of ordinal exposure. And that's enough. That's already too much. I've got a lot of shit coins because I minted all these stupid things. That's plenty. So Solana is going to be kind of my large cap play. And until it breaks out, no point in buying. No point in buying until it can prove to me that it's going to stack me more sats. And that hasn't happened yet. So we're waiting. We're in a holding pattern. Now, do I believe that there will be an alt season like 2021? Well, this goes back to Bitcoin dominance. And the answer to your question is no. It's going to be a smaller altcoin season. Why? Because that's the trend. That's the trend, right? We've got two major altcoin seasons in the books. We have this altcoin season, which was the 2017 season, absolute fucking ripper, ridiculous. If you were around, it was absolutely crazy, insane. This is the measuring stick for what people expect in terms of altcoin season. This was like shooting fish in a barrel. Doesn't matter what you bought, it did 100x. It was absolutely fucking insane. It was really, really cool to be alive. But yeah, then we have this altcoin season right here. So that was a 63% dump in Bitcoin dominance. Then we have this one, 46% dump in Bitcoin dominance. this one, it was a good altcoin season, not going to lie. When 46% of Bitcoin dominance goes into altcoins, you notice it. You notice it big time. The other thing to consider here, though, is I'll just add some stuff. Let's just say there was 100 altcoins. There was more, but let's just say there was 100 altcoins here. So we lost 63% to 100 different altcoins, right? Then in this cycle, we have 10,000 altcoins, right? So in this scenario, we lost 46% to 10,000 different altcoins. So not as extreme, not as much liquidity changing hands, and more diversified across more coins. Now, we're at a lower price here. Let's say we cap out at 60%. Let's just, for argument's sake, say we cap out at 60%. Let's identify the trend line because we have a trend line. And let's run the numbers from there. So if we tap out here and come back down to, say, this level right here, it's a 33% decline. So it's the weakest decline. It's the weakest transition of liquidity from Bitcoin to altcoins. And it's the highest distribution. Here we have 10 million altcoins for this one. These numbers are just to paint a picture here. Okay. So you've got a huge influx of liquidity into a very small amount of coins. Then you have a medium influx of liquidity going into a medium-sized amount of coins. Then you have a small amount of transitional liquidity going into an obscene amount of primarily meme coins. So do I think it's going to be as exciting as the prior cycles? It could be. It could be. But based on the facts that we're looking at today on the charts, based on the probabilities, there is a higher probability outcome that it will not be as exciting as prior cycles. Now, the one caveat to that is Bitcoin has been in diminishing returns each cycle. If Bitcoin breaks diminishing returns, you could see more dominance fall in Bitcoin. That's a possibility as well. The other possibility too is, let's say Bitcoin rips and it goes up to a higher level. Let's say it somehow gets up to 70% dominance. Well, then you've got farther to fall and you've got a similar type of altcoin season. So there's a lot of factors that go into play, but just understand that the market as a whole is very diluted, and the trend that we're looking at as far as transition is less extreme than we've seen in other cycles, but there is still a possibility. It's just it's the less probable outcome. Not what you want to hear, but I'm just giving it to you guys straight. This is what I'm seeing. Okay, what do you think needs to happen for alts to really start running? Many say liquidity just isn't there this cycle. Yeah, it's a problem. Liquidity is a problem because it's migrational liquidity. This is a problem with having millions of altcoins. There's only so many dollars. And when you have millions of options and nobody cares about fundamentals anymore, how do you choose? Every meme coin is exactly the same. Every meme coin is exactly the same. It's a meme. It has no fundamental future. It has no fundamental backing. It has no reason to go up other than marketing, shills, and community. So it's limited because anybody can do that. Not anybody can create something of true value like a DeFi protocol or a swaps platform or a yield platform. Those things give a lot of value, but the market just doesn't care. So it's a very interesting question. What needs to happen? Liquidity will help. Liquidity always helps. It's a lubrication of these financial markets. But I think a more important narrative needs to take place where maybe nation states do start allocating into some top alts, and that'll create enough of a fervor and a buzz to create an abundance of speculation. So it's going to be difficult to navigate. Which is why sticking to the plays that make the most sense. Listen, where do all the altcoins live? Where do all the meme coins live? All of them. Where's the majority of the meme coins live? Solana. Pump.fum. All the stupid shit. So why am I going to try and guess between the millions of coins when I know that those millions of coins live on Solana? Solana's just it's a much better guess. So what's going to need to happen? I don't know. We'll see. Liquidity will certainly help. But as far as picking and choosing outliers in the 10 million, you gotta apply some fundamentals. And if the fundamental is just greed, Solana's your play. If people are greedy and stupid, where are they going? They're going to Solana to lose their money. Just buy Solana, because everybody needs to buy Solana before they can lose their shirt. You might as well be pulling on a handle at casino. None of them have real value. Exactly. What do you think about Trump's new media business? Bought $250 million worth of crypto. Next MSTR. Hard to say. We'll see. MSTR is a leveraged play on Bitcoin, estimated around 2x at the moment. Base price on percentage gain per move. So tomorrow MSTR will probably open with a gap if BTC continues to rally open. Yep. Do you believe in sell in May and go away? It seems like there will be many exiting in May this year. It's a very typical play, and it will definitely have an effect on the market. It doesn't necessarily call a top, but it certainly calls a dry up of liquidity. So if you are employing the sell in May and go away strategy, just use it. Use the sell in May, go away. You're never going to lose money taking profits. So, just have a plan for how much you want to sell at what times and for what reasons, and you'll be fine. But yeah, it's a traditional time for a lot of traditional market folks to get out of the market and go on vacation. They can't enjoy their vacation if they have exposure to the market. CoinGecko indicates 17,000 coins. How is there millions? Great question. Dune Analytics. Most coins are not listed anywhere. Let's see. What can we search? Meme coins. I'm just searching this raw. I don't actually know. Tokens. How many tokens? Yeah, I'm going to have to get back to you on that one. If you're in the Discord, send me a message. Send it publicly. Send a public message, and I will share that information. I got to find it. I'm not gonna go around and just find it. Let's see. How many coins are there? Dune. Let's see if this works. This will be the last thing. Coins on Solana Dune. Let's try this one. And then I got to move on. Token contract creation. Let's get a closer look at that. Well, yeah, I'm sorry, I can't get the aggregated amount. It's out there somewhere. I'll work on that and I'll get the aggregated amount, but it's way more. I mean, there was 1.7 million coins created in this one day, just this one day. So there's a lot of coins out there. There's a lot of coins out there. Has Solana and Pump.Fun ruined the chance of altcoin season due to too many meme coins? No, they haven't ruined it, but they've certainly made it hard to pick winners. And when it's hard to pick winners, you basically just need to stick to Solana. If people are fucking around on Pump.Fun, what do they need? What's the first thing they need to do? What is the very first thing they need to do to buy an altcoin? They need to buy Solana. So that bids the price up right there. Solana's a no-brainer for me. Nice to see you bullish. Certainly isn't always the case. I've been bullish for years, man. 2017, the year of the ICOs, feels like yesterday. Yeah, I know. Okay, 6.8 million coins on Pump.Fun. Thank you. Let's just let's take a look at that. Pump.Fun. Pump.Fun. And that's just Solana. That's just Solana. God, what a anxiety, what an anxiety inducing website. Jesus. All right, well, we'll just take your word on it. I'll find it later. Stop looking at that. It's too much. Too much FOMO. You won't see it on the Pump website, lol, only on Dune. Don't want to send links, might get insta-banned. All right, Lachlan, you're in the Discord. Hit me up, friend, so that we can share the alpha. But yeah, it's millions. It's millions and millions of coins. All right, let's wrap things out here. Let's take a look at Bitcoin. What are we doing? We're going up. Moon up only. What's the case? What we doing? Holding on top of the 7 on the 15. So uptrend continues. Still got plenty of day left. The Asian hours are going to continue. So we'll see how the U.S. responds to this recovery. We've basically recovered everything that we've lost since the dump that completely scared everybody. When we lost this level, the market just lost their shit, and we've now completely reclaimed that level right back up at $105,000. Probably going to continue. It's going to be a bullish day. It's going to be a green day, and yeah. Can't wait for the breakout. Can't wait to head up to 125,000, then 150, then 250, then 350, and so on and so forth till we're up into the millions. So thank you all for joining in. Hope you guys enjoyed this content. If you did, please leave it a like. Let's see what we're doing for the likes here. We got 131 views, but how many likes did we get? Where does it say my likes? 17 likes. That's not bad. But if you could hit the like button on your way out, that would be greatly appreciated. It does help people discover this channel. So we want to get bull run ready and help as many people navigate the cryptocurrency market as we can. Tell your friends, tell your family, and until next time, please trade safe. It is a jungle out there. Peace.